Hi, so my name is Kevin Avila, and for my presentation, I wanted to share a little bit about my educational experiences. So, from an early age, I was picked on for like being smart and having more feminine features. I thought that it was difficult for me to also like be in the gifted and talented education program while representing Latino and LGBTQ. I know it sounds like weird how I shouldn't be worried about those like two topics, especially like from a very early age. But I think that it had like a target towards me. Moving towards the future at Cal Poly Pomona, I think that part of it also triggered like a kind of like a cultural setback, but I'll provide more details. So, a few reading connections that I made was in Expectations to Rule by Julie Betty. She argues that girls suffer from lower self esteem than boys do in almost all cases. I would disagree with the outcome of research done in this excerpt only because I feel like I experienced um, challenges in public school also. I felt like Julie Betty was making it like exclusive to female students, but because I felt like I was representing LGBTQ or even like Latino, Latinx cultural in school, I felt like that was sort of a challenge for me. Um, Going on to the next one in What Does Education Do? Kimberly Goyetti, she sheds light on social mobility and how advantaged students have more resources. This article brings up how education is used as private good by families to either increase their social mobility or maintain their advantaged status. So I felt like I could relate to this because I was classified in the gifted and talented program, which stood for kind of like it segregated smarter students from regular students. ESE Act defines GATE students as students, children, or youth who give evidence of high achievement capability in areas such as intellectual, creative, artistic, or leadership capacity, or in specific academic fields, and who need services and activities not ordinarily provided by the school in order to fully develop those capabilities. So I was also part of like the knowledgeable, and there was kind of like some correlation between knowledgeable and the GATE program, but I related that to Kimberly's ideology, sort of because she made it seem like higher socioeconomic classes had better resources to stay in a higher socioeconomic class. In other words, it's more difficult for people to like get out of where they're from, if that makes sense. In No Harm in Asking by Anthony Jack, he mentions how lower economic students have less connections with school authority. This relates to my experience at Cal Poly Pomona. More so like my experiences with friends and like how people have different like backgrounds and how they relate to the school authority. Um, my reflection in the first reading, I think that it's important to incorporate more sample population. So again, relating more to like LGBTQ. I know that Betty mentioned that there were categories overlooked in the research done. I felt like while I was reading her excerpt, I felt like it was more generalized and I didn't really agree with too much of it. Um, in the second article, she proved how social mobility maintains advantage status. I thought that this was important because it kind of like made me realize how segregated schools are. I think I remember reading about how um like RSP students were they were kind of like set off to the side and kind of like kind of put down in a way. So I thought it was like interesting how it like reversed on me and how I was involved in like gate and knowledgeable and how like it made me feel more above other students. Um, and for the third article, societal implications include professors and students' communication as an obstacle for certain groups of people. So I thought that it was important because depending where different students come from in terms of like cultural or like regional location, it affects how they like perceive school. And these are my references. Thank you.